The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness Last Orders, the podcast where we look back into the films our Hallmark favourite actors and directors would rather forget that they were ever involved with. I'm Joe, and with me as always, he's involved in a legal imbroglio with the local council after his greasy buttock massage shop was shut down for using recycled chip fat. It's James.
Wow, what a journey that was.
That was the last one we done, weren't it? With Mono and Kara, the sword and the sorcerer. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing I remember is the greasy buttock massage and
death.
He's been gone for a while, possibly to investigate the heir to the one true land, or on the run after the brutal murder of Grandpa Joe. It's Mark.
It's my double-ended swords. It's like a normal sword, but double-ended.
Detachable?
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah.
And with a smaller sword inside that, and then a smaller sword in that, all the way down.
A singing sword that comes out of it at the end. But do you know, funnily enough, after I'd finished watching this week's film, it recommended The Sword and the Sorcerer. Fucking Prime, man.
Good God,
knows. And of course I didn't watch it, because I'd already listened to a far superior podcast on the subject.
Well, if you want to keep up to date...
Was it us?
No, this one wasn't available.
Right, fine. Just talk over.
Go on.
Oh, if you want to keep up to date with upcoming film choices and that, you can follow us on Twitter at Hallmark of Great, all one word, or you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. Or if you are an evil wizard, possibly, and want to recommend a film to us, send us an email over at hallmarkofgreatness@gmail.com. Nobody ever has.
Maybe because
I thought there was going to be like a sidekick link in there.
Yeah. No, that's next week, isn't it? You see?
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah.
No, but you see, James is the sidekick, so he's already seen ahead.
Oh, you see, this is
saved it there.
Yeah, he's getting the word nonce. Yeah.
It seems like it's been a while for some reason.
Yeah, back with the classic lineup.
Yeah, the trio of power.
The fans have been begging for
triangle of bastards.
Get the triangle of bastards back.
The tribastulate.
Yeah, the Triforce. Now, it's. I don't know. It feels like it's been a while. I don't know why. I don't think it has. But
well, Blackbird was the last one I was on.
Oh yeah.
Well,
we did have like 2 weeks off because I had stuff to sort out. But yeah. Blackbird.
Classicals.
See, I was just expecting loads of like things from that, Michael Flatley jokes. I didn't realize you were going to go with the last Orders one.
Yeah, because I think I did Michael Flatley jokes on the last. I have to maintain the system, otherwise it falls apart, James.
You've got to have a system.
Got to have a system. Otherwise, what's the point? It's what separates us from the animals.
Mono and Kira, Flatley can't hear you. You got
a tradition nonetheless. Yeah.
Let's get into this week's film. It's a bit good, this, for us, and I feel like we've done ourselves a bit of a disservice by covering it, but 1984's Dreamscape, recommended from Amazon Prime.
What was that groan for? I don't think it was that good.
I really liked it up until the last sort of 10 minutes. I was like, this is great. This is like a proper film.
It's all filmed in a dog track, for one thing. That ain't no hospital, university, whatever.
It's two-thirds of a good film, is what I reckon it is. Yeah. It's two-thirds of a decent
good episode of like The Twilight Zone or something like that.
I wanted more dreams and more David Patrick
Kelly.
More
scapes, please.
Yeah. Dreams or scapes. Yeah.
But let's find out what the machine has to say first.
Wow, look what we've got here. It's the Ultra Design Interpreter of Tomorrow. Wow, well, it's been a while. It's a bit dusty. I guess it is. It says, Dreamscape, 1984. Amy Dreamscape is a simple village philanthropist who must extricate herself from Mexico with no passport or kidneys, or else a small child will have to spend another year without its mum, forgotten.
Wait, where's the kidneys? What?
I think that's dialogue. The plot thickens when Amy encounters Gideon Spoonworthy, a tree surgeon who needs no further explanation. Things become complicated when a bounty hunter pursues them both and the couple have to set aside their differences. Will they resemble a Thomas Kincaid painting? Most likely. I didn't understand what that meant, so I had to look that up. And apparently, William Thomas Kincaid III was an American painter of popular realistic, pastoral, and idyllic subjects. So there we are.
Okay.
It's going to resemble that at the end.
There's a lot to unpack in that one.
Yeah.
A tree surgeon who requires no further introduction.
Just imagine a very abrupt man.
That's what I got taught. You know, when you have to do that thing at school where you have to fill in like the 100 questions and it tells you what your ideal job would be.
Yeah.
Mine was tree surgeon.
All right.
Yeah, I can
It's
see
just a
that.
bloke who lops limbs off.
Yeah,
It's not like I thought it would be something where like you take the tree into some hospital, do some
bandages
surgery on
on
it, and put
it.
it back. Yeah, but apparently not.
You have to hop into the tree's dreams.
You
and
do, yeah, absolutely.
Well, trees have a finite lifespan, I found out. Trees don't live forever.
Right.
No,
Oh,
that's
I mean,
true, yeah.
And it
I
blew my
think-
mind because I'm like, well, no, trees always. And no, they don't.
I think the longest a tree can live for, I think the yew tree can live for like 3,000 to 5,000 years or something.
How would anyone know?
See,
I mean, it's done all
seen
that. It's
it
got
all.
nothing to say.
What are you gonna
It's
do?
seen it all, and then once it's seen it all, it can put together a report into BBC perverts.
Hey,
It's just
there we
genius,
go.
really.
Yeah, because that's the loneliest tree that was in the desert, and it was like miles from the nearest other tree, and it still got crashed into.
Is that because if you're Irish, tree is the loneliest number?
Oh, well, let's start with the
boo,
Irish
boo,
jokes now.
boo,
then.
boo.
It's not going to get any better.
The actual synopsis for Dreamscape. A man who can enter and manipulate people's dreams is recruited by a government agency to help cure the president of the United States of his nightmares about nuclear war, but stumbles upon an assassination plot.
Yeah, okay.
Half of an assassination plot, like it's just we'll try this person. Well, we did this one person. Fuck it, who's next? Oh, I don't know. Nobody to the president.
We
You
did
might
that
as well
old
turn it to
lady who,
11.
let's be fair, was probably about 2 days away from death anyway. But this has an all-star. This is like the most people we've had in a film ever,
Man.
I think.
Well, yeah.
We've got Dennis Quaid, we've got Max von Sydow, we've got Captain Von Trapp.
Christopher Plummer, yeah.
Yeah. We've
You've
got
the bloke
the screaming
out,
woman from Indiana Jones 2.
You've got the baddie out of every independent film from 1980 onwards.
And
And
it's
Norm!
yeah. But
Yes,
who's
no.
not actually in it.
No, he's in it for some reason.
for
I was like,
3
did he owe money
scenes.
to someone? Or something?
And it's in 1984, and you kind of think, how have I not seen this before? It's just like the heyday of everyone.
Now, on this subject, I kind of, partway through it, I thought, I think I've seen at least a bit of this, but I couldn't figure it out. I don't think I'd seen anything exciting. I think I'd seen the Snaky
Yep, you've
Man.
seen the film.
Yeah, I'd seen the
Hey.
Snaky Man, but nothing beyond that. And I was kind of, I've definitely seen at least a bit of this, but I don't remember where or when.
The exciting girder fight? Come on.
Oh, shit, I forgot about that. I think I've got any notes about that for some reason.
It's not much a fight, more of like I don't know what that is. Let's start. Opening credits. Load of stuff. There's a guy in it called Cory Bumper Yothers, which makes me chuckle.
That's the little ugly ginger shit kid that we'll come to.
Is it?
Right, okay.
Yeah. Bumper's
Oh,
the shit
fucking-
kid. Bumper has not got many roles after
Why
this.
was he in a wheelchair when he could walk? It's lazy.
Ginger.
We've got some bad green
Disability.
screen at the start. It was the worst bit of the film was the actual opening start with
I
this
think you'll
woman
find
running along.
1984, James. It would have been blue screen, but okay, I'll let you
How
have that one.
dare you? This is tremendous. This is like Terminator 2.
Well, yeah, I did put it's very Judgment Day, but I assume that woman is the president's wife, but you never see her again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the president's neck is
Dead?
missing. Yeah, the president's wife is dead, and we don't know what she's died of. But later
Nuclear.
on, it's the daughter kind of says, "Oh, ever since Mom died, you've been having these dreams about her," and it's like,
Right.
"Oh, right, okay." And it's
'Cause
like
there
a
was a-
I missed
throwaway
that.
line.
There was a picture on his bedside table of her, and I just thought she'd left. She'd had enough of him
Set enough for being the
being
president's
exploded
wife.
in a dream.
I put here the Twin Towers being blown up at the beginning of the film. If this was The Simpsons, there would have been like 100 BuzzFeed articles about how The Simpsons predicted 9/11 or something.
But yeah, it's not. It's just this woman running on a treadmill in front of a blue screen, and like a nuclear
dress.
explosion happens behind her. And even I thought it was quite good. It comes towards her and she evaporates, and I was like, okay,
She
1984.
wasn't quite holding on to a chain link fence and
No.
obliterated
No,
like
no.
Linda. Yeah, okay.
And we get Dreamscape. President wakes up. Oh no, it's happened again. And then some dude who just hangs around outside his bedroom is like, "You all right?"
Yeah.
It's like, you're not being murdered, are you? By our enemies, by our country's enemies.
Because if you could just keep it down. But I was like, does the president sleep does he live in the White House?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Right, because I thought about this, because I'm like, they don't live in 10 Downing Street, do they? They live in like a flat.
It's sort of like above
adjacent.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they live actually in
almost like a chip shop sort of situation. Runs the business down there.
Oh my! Can you imagine 4 years living above a chip shop? You'd have to remove the wall to get me out.
Oh, it'd be like, yeah.
I think
It's
you'd
your
find
window
that the
to
wall
weight
would just be
gain, that one,
like
isn't it?
translucent with grease.
It's my window to weight gain.
Yeah. And yeah, the president's like, the president's having bad dreams again about nuclear holocausts and stuff. Fair enough.
But every president does, surely.
I don't
they
reckon
all
Reagan
do.
did.
Well, he didn't really dream a lot at the end, did he? No,
It was all a dream, I think, at that point, weren't it?
Yeah.
Me and Nancy are looking for the other half of my brain. Yeah.
Hello, mommy.
You know what? He did say well a lot. And then we're introduced to Dr. Novotny.
Yeah, in a lecture hall. Going on about, he's got this projector going, he's going on about this authentic genius, Alex Gardner, former student who was also a psychic. He also had telekinesis.
Telekinesis
which never comes up again.
Can push a ball fractionally. Because I was like, is he tipping that? Is it like one of those crystal maze style mazes? But apparently he's supposed to be moving it with his mind. Alex Gardner, of course, Dennis Quaid, who has stolen the voice of Harrison Ford for this film.
Yeah.
He said
didn't like being poked and prodded. Who does?
No.
Says Novotny. He fucked off when they did this experiment. He hasn't seen him in, 9 years? Something like that?
9 years. He left when he was 19. No. And Dr. Novotny is like, we need to find him for this upcoming experiment.
And then there's a man in a mystery suit, the guy from The Sound of Music. He says, I'll find him if he's alive. Why would he be dead? Why would he be dead?
He could have been dead. He could have
been murdered by the jockey club.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it.
He could have had a girder dropped on him. We don't know. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, Dr. Novotny is Max von Sydow. Christopher Plummer is Bob Blair.
I know, I had problems with that.
Yeah. And we cut to Alex Gardner, Dennis Quaid, and he's at the horse races.
Yeah.
From what I can assume, using his psychic powers to make the horse win?
Oh, no, I think he's predicting the future. That's why, because he gives
right,
people
that makes more sense,
on.
because I was like, if he can control horses, he should be using his powers for better stuff.
I assumed it was
I'd want to
because
see
horse
that.
racing's bent. I thought he was just reading the minds of the jockeys.
Well, he's being
could
pursued
be.
by 30s Irish goons, because they've all got those sort of like...
He's being
big
pursued
traps.
by the Dropkick Murphys.
Just before they ship up to Boston.
He wins, he goes to claim his money, and he says something like, I can't remember the exact line, but it's like the bookie doesn't care. Like,
nope.
And he goes and fucking
I like
Flanagan
the
and Tucker.
They race after him, and the race announcer is doing the next race, which is a bit soon, but he's like, and they're off. And that's quite good. I like that it was sort of like narrating their chase as well as the race as well.
Yeah,
It was good. Standard that we don't often see in this podcast, so I'm happy with that.
See, that's what I'm saying. It was good. There was things there. Yeah, they run down a corridor into a toilet where a woman calls him a pervert and leaves. And then they follow him in, and they basically want him to help them fiddle the horses or like give them tips. Yeah, because they know that he always wins, and I don't know whether or not they know it. I think he's just looking. He throws his bag out of the window and does a run off. Right, get him, boys. Yeah. They chase after him. There's like a bit where they run through like where the jockeys get ready. There's one very tall jockey in that room.
It was the land of the jockeys. They're all little elves.
He gets out. They run out. They grab the bag that's outside, and it's full of toilet roll. Mm-hmm. And Gardner drives past in a taxi, giving him that.
Why are you there?
Yeah, and I'll get you, Gardner. And then he goes home. And for some reason, presses play on his answering machine, and then just decides to play some sexy saxophone to himself.
Does he though? Because I don't think that was him playing. He likes playing that, listening to spurned women on his voicemail, because it's all just women.
There's one of them. It's like, you son of a bitch. I can't believe you thought I was gonna fall for that again. And then the next call, like 20 minutes later, maybe give me a call, sunshine. It's like, what? Like, are these the wrong way round?
No, I think he's used his psychic powers to like persuade her to not hate him, which seems like it's basically like psychic
It's egregious.
date rape, isn't it?
Well,
Like,
I mean, he does do a bit of that later on anyway, doesn't he? So
yeah, but it's not good.
steps out of his door and meets Finch and Babcock, which I also thought was very funny. They persuade him to step into a car, and the time wizards are coming after him again up the road. So he's like, "Sure, I'll get in your car." So they abduct him and explain that they're going to take him to university, to Thornhill College.
Mm-hmm. Which looked like a swimming bath.
It looked like the maintenance corridor of a swimming bath. It really did. Just one corridor.
It's the Master Bates Hall. It says the Bates Hall. And yeah, he goes in there, gets plonked down in an office with a two-way mirror.
You have to sign in, and then he goes, "No, I don't." And they go, "Okay."
There's a line around here, something along like the lines of, "Who's your decorator? Darth Vader?"
That's right. So yeah, he's waiting in this room with the one-way mirror, and he writes, "And let's get on with it" in the mirror. Yeah. And what's she called? Jane?
Yep, Dr. Hot Babe.
Dr. Hot Babe, which is Willie from the worst Indiana Jones. Well, not the worst Indiana Jones, but like the one that everyone loves now because of anyway.
Yeah, in hindsight.
She just screams all the way through that film. She's just the most annoying character in it.
She should get Calimard. It's a shame she doesn't.
Have done. Yeah.
But fittingly, Willie starts talking to him about erections a little bit later on, so that's fun.
Oh yeah.
Well, she leads him down. She's like, there's a cop sat outside this door that's like 2 steps down. And it's like, oh, we've got security here because there's lots of top secret stuff going on. But it's mostly sleep, people who have sleep difficulties.
Yeah.
And then she says, we also help with like men who are impotent. If it's a psychological problem, then they will. If it's a physical problem, they won't be able to have up to 3 or 4 erections a night when they're asleep. And he goes, "Oh, so you count boners?" And I was like, "Who is this for?"
Yeah. She also like points to a screen, and he says, "Oh, I know all about REM. They've been going for 4 years."
Out of Athens, Georgia. Beat Book, the other one. B-52s are better, but whatever.
And she says that they've developed a technique that allows psychics to voluntarily link, or dream link, TM, with the minds of others by projecting themselves into the subconscious during REM sleep, or rapid eye movement sleep. So she then gets called away for no reason at all, and he does a little bit of a snoop, which is where he finds
down some stairs.
A great place to record his debut sax album.
It does look like a bitch in recording studios. But that cop who was sat there, security guard, just gone and took his chair with him.
Yeah,
well, like he's not coming back.
He's going to sit in a museum in front of a priceless painting and fall asleep.
Got to sit on the top floor of a skyscraper defending a big egg. But yeah, he goes into this thing and it's 2 chairs with a load of computery bollocks in between and like a big viewing platform and stuff. And Dr. Novotny comes in and he's like, "You son of a bitch." And he's like, "God damn you." And there's lots of like male posturing and stuff. But this is where we get the line, "Who's your interior decorator? Darth Vader." And I'm like, these are not good lines, Harrison Quaid.
No, but then Dr. Robotnik, as I put him down once accidentally, says, "You've got tremendous gifts and you've chosen to piss them away." I thought, that's a bit abrupt, isn't it? I like it.
He has, though. Like, he could move a ball fractionally. Like, that's a skill. Yeah. Roulette, I imagine it's useful.
Yeah, I'd be using that all the time.
Instead, he's chosen to use the sporting almanac from Back to the Future 2.
From Back to the Future.
And he's making enemies with Celtic rock bands wherever he go. Him flogging Molly. It's a nightmare wherever he goes.
The wolf tones are yet to turn up. But, they'll be there.
It's the move from town to town, city to city, evading the local folk rock scene.
Novotny takes him out for a drink and says that the original idea was the practice of the Sonoy natives of Malaysia, who believe that the dream world is just as real as reality. And that is a real thing, apparently. The Sonoy natives have this dream concept. I looked it up. But yeah, it was a bit of a fad in the late 19th century, the early 20th century, and I think it's sort of been a bit like, well, they just discuss dreams a lot, it's not like a special thing.
Aborigines have a similar thing as well with the dream world.
Yeah, it's this concept that if you lucid dream, then you can control the dream, and then you can ride your own dragon and stuff like that.
Sweet.
And none of that happens in this film.
No, I was a bit disappointed by that. I thought we were going to get like cool stuff, and all we get is some like glow in the dark nunchucks at one point.
Well, they were fun, but
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I mean, he fucking sells it, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
they go to this bar where the camera lingers for a long time on a waitress's chest as she's carrying that beer.
Yeah.
But they don't do a lot of that in this film anyway. So
apparently there is a scene cut for that to make it a PG-12. Yeah.
All right.
Not a nude scene anymore. Yeah.
No, they drew some pants on. Like. But while he's sitting there having this drink, also I'm a big fan of like them just bringing you like a jug of beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a dream, isn't it? He looks across and Norm is not in Cheers. Oh no, he's in this Chesty LaRue's bar.
I mean, he's playing to type.
Well, yeah. And he looks across at him and he like and then disappears, and that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Novotny says that he can leap inside a man's dreams for no real reason. And then Alex says, well, why me? And he says, well, we couldn't get Mark Hamill. And he says, anyway, sleep on it, okay? And you might, you never know. You might be threatened tomorrow and change your mind.
Well, he says we've already had success with it as well.
Have they?
Yeah, because Tommy Ray can do it. And also the guy who goes bonkers.
Every time he does something, though, they're like, "Oh, that's the first time that's ever been done." So I feel like they've not really done much. So, I don't know. But it doesn't matter.
Is this the point where I think it is, isn't it? Because it's the next morning before, like they got to bed, they show Buddy, you and he were buddies, weren't you? In this chair, along with this other psychic, and they both come out of the dream, and the kid's freaking out, and this guy's like catatonic, and it turns out that whatever is in this kid's dream is enough to make a grown man like shit his pants.
Shit the bed. Yeah.
And then the next morning, we see him getting wheeled off in like a straitjacket. Dr. Novotny comes in the morning and wakes him up. What time is it? Early. It's not what I asked, is it? You're a fucking sundial. What are you? He's like, right, are you stopping then? And he's like, nah, mate, this is not for me. It's weird. And then Robotnik goes, well, we're going to have to grass you up to the IRS then. And I was like, what a dirty bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's shown as being quite cool throughout the rest of it. But
there's
essentially he's a cop.
He is. There's varying levels of threats. We start with, I'll take your money off of you from the first lot. And then Novotny, we've got this, I'll grass you into the IRS. And then a little bit later on, we get, you got to work for me or I'll kill you. And you got to, fucking hell, it really has escalated for this lad.
Over the course of 3 days as well.
Pretty much.
Every day's a new terror.
No wonder he chose to get shrunk down and put into Martin Short's ass.
Well, he says, I'm never going to do this for you. Never. And then there's a nice abrupt cut to him in Scrubs doing the old psychic card guessing game, which I seem to remember is in one of the Ghostbuster films.
It's Peter Venkman. Yeah. And he keeps even when the kid gets it right, he's telling him he's getting it wrong, and he buzzes him, and he goes, and at the end, the kid loses his rag and goes, I don't even need the $5.
Yeah, he shocks the chewing gum out of his mouth as well, which always makes me laugh in that bit. But the woman, she's getting them all wrong, and he said, "Are you cheating and stuff?" But and it's just not even like shapes; it's just colours, and he gets them all right, and then he starts getting them wrong, and she's like, "You're not concentrating. You need to focus so we can go into the dreams and do stuff." And he goes,
like, "I'll do stuff in your dreams."
Well, he basically says, "You fancy me, don't you?" And she goes, "We're not here to discuss that." And I was like, "Mate, that's like he's very forthright with it all."
I mean, he's Dennis Quaid, fairness.
But he's got all the wires and stuff hooked up to him. He goes to have a shower, and while he's in the shower, I thought, oh, someone needs to drain that. Someone needs to let the pipe air out their radiators, don't they? Leak their pipes here. Well, it's not. It's everyone's favourite madman, David Patrick Kelly.
Yeah. Are you Johnny Ray?
I thought it was Paranoia from Red Dwarf, fucking around with his sax. He's the Neil Armstrong of dream linking.
He is.
I love
because he's the first one to have done it successfully. But he's obviously the bad guy because he's got a very pallid. He does look a bit like Dickhead from. Well, he was Dickhead in Bottom, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The guy that played Paranoia. He does. He's very sort of pale and wan, but he's like, I'm. You need to watch out for me because, like,
I'm a big name around here. And I've
Yeah,
got ideas and plans.
I'm the Neil Armstrong of whatever it is we do here.
I'm a big wheel at the cracker factory. It's interesting because Dennis Quaid's character's like, look, why don't we go and have a beer and you can tell me a few things or show me two things or two. He's like, I ain't saying shit, and you're kind of like, all right, fucking like he's up to 11.
I
with
thought
him straight
I was
away.
a prick, but you're a massive.
Everything I've ever seen David Patrick Kelly in, he plays this character.
He is, and he's brilliant at it. And one day we'll see him in something where he's just some really nice guy, and it won't work.
No, because like he's Thingy in the Warriors. He's in the Crow.
Yeah, you remember I said I'd kill you last. That's what you said.
Yeah,
That's what you said. I lied.
But he's just great as like a over the top bad guy.
He's brilliant in this
film. To be
he's
fair.
the. You're right. He's the best thing in this. I mean, there's Oscar-winning actors in this, and I think he's the best thing. Him and the Snake Man, although they are both anyway.
He is the Snake Man
playing himself. Yeah, he says that one of the patients is. Oh no, it's the other guy has gone psychotic.
He's gone psychotic.
That kid's dreams.
He sent him out here in a basket.
Shit's getting
I'm
going to get a basket
for you. Yeah,
like a hamper, like the hamper you should have been on Bullseye.
Yeah, like get well soon hamper. I didn't quite follow
like the one that the kid out of basket case is in.
Oh, that could be what he's referring to actually, but it was a bit strange that. But is it then we get? Is this when he goes into the
girder time?
It's girder time.
Yeah,
Iron brew o'clock. He is with just some random guy we've not met.
I am constructing here.
He goes into his street. He's in REM sleep, and they do all this. There's like a Commodore 64 screen going off.
It's
with
good. I like that
and stuff like that. It was good. I enjoyed it. He's in REM sleep. Do some breathing now, David. And then he ends up in this dream. It's getting boring in his dream. I don't remember my dreams, so I'd like to imagine they were more exciting than being at work.
Is he not dreaming about being in that photograph from like the 20s?
Where
there's the guy sat
lunchtime or whatever it's called.
It should have been all those time bandits from before with the caps on. Yeah.
And the guy turns around while this girder's like swinging on a crane, and he David just stands there. And then this guy gets his legs gently knocked out from underneath him, and then falls onto this girder, and he's like, "Oh, help me!" And David goes to help him, but his shirt's ripping, and it was all very don't know
odd girder-based violence. I thought
I don't know what the stakes are here. But I like the fact that the sky was all apocalyptic. It was quite good.
Yeah.
So you can tell it was a dream. There was also a weird flashing into the dream sequence that you got different noises each time depending on how horny the dream was. When we meet, what's he called, Mr. Toupee later.
Yes. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, Tobias. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a mention here at some point where it's if you die in your dream, you die in real life or something? You really die or something.
Well, he falls off the girder trying to rescue this man and goes falls and then gets woken up as he's about to hit the ground.
Right, okay.
And I don't think he finds out until much later on. I think
he doesn't know that at this point. But I was like, isn't that negating the whole point of the thing? But yeah, he's been shook awake at the last possible minute. Don't know what happens to the steel worker.
No, he's wake him up as well. But I was hoping they'd have a computer screen that they could look inside the dream.
Yeah.
And it'd be like the Matrix sort of thing.
Yeah.
But no.
Pull him out. Yeah. That kind of thing.
None of that. It's just I guess.
They never get to the bottom of that steel worker. He's just a failed patient.
He's cured now. Cured. Cured. His fear of girders has long left him. He can get a job down the docks now. It's fine.
Tommy sees all of this from a gantry and he's not happy because this is the furthest they've ever got girders. Never got to girders before. And then
Donkey Kong.
And then he meets Bob Blair, Christopher Plummer. And it's for me, it was the Bob Lawlar.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, the blah 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 blah. I think from Arrested. A lot of Arrested Development references in this episode.
It's coming up at this point now. Well, they've put Alex in a CAT scan and they've pulled him out and he's strapped down and blah 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 comes in and he's like, "Can you help me up?" And he's like, "No, I have to do a big load of exposition to you now."
Without moving the top half of my face. I thought I was legitimately creepy. It was really good.
Again, is an Oscar winner possibly?
Double Oscar winner.
Yeah.
Double Oscar winner.
In this, And he basically
it's not
explains
his
that
finest work.
he's sort of funded this, and it's to help people, and he basically lies to him and says that like it's for the greater good.
The greater good. Yeah.
The greater good.
I'll go and get a nurse to come and let you out, and then like he doesn't.
Fucks off somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's off down
Anyway,
here.
Alex decides to go for a run on the quad, which is one of 3 locations in this film.
And he's got a big sweaty ass when he runs past that camera.
He meets Dr. Hot Babe sitting on a park bench with that lad, Buddy
Bumper.
Driscoll.
Oh.
And his problem is that he's shit at drawing. He's reached a whole 9 years of age without being able to draw properly.
Would you
Better than
believe
my drawings? You cheeky
I have
bastard.
written the only thing this little kid shouldn't be afraid of is getting invited on Rolf's Cartoon Club because these pictures are shocking.
I
Well,
mean,
in
I'd have
hindsight,
bigger
you really
fears about
shouldn't.
Rolf's Cartoon Club, to be fair. He has difficulty sleeping. He's almost about to
Mm-hmm.
because he's not sleeping. He's almost about to suffer some sort of sleep-related malady. I don't know what that is. And Alex is like, let me talk to him, and he's like, oh, I used to be scared too, but
So I took an arrow to the knee.
but now I'm not. And like, we can help you, we can rebuild you, but I don't want to spend a lot of money.
We don't have the technology.
The 10,000 rupee man. And the kid's like, oh, great, wheel me back in, slaves. And it was like, what?
We cut to the president dreaming about a nuclear holocaust again, this time with the scary door.
Oh, it was quite good, this.
It's gone a bit threads, I've written.
Yeah,
Mm.
'cause there was lots of, why did you hurt me? Why?
Yeah.
And like, why are they all Cockney chimney sweep children? And then, like, a spooky door opens and all these mutant kids try and grab him, and he wakes up.
Bring blah blah right now because I want to see
No,
it.
because then I thought it was his wife came in, but that's his
It's
daughter.
his
His
daughter.
daughter.
Yeah, it's his daughter.
Who sleeps in the
ever
room
since
next
Mom
to him.
left. Yeah. You know, I guess what better address would you have? You know, you're not
that's
going to struggle to get credit, are you? If you live at the White House.
Derek, the security guard, goes, "You all right?" Again, like earning his paycheck.
Yeah,
innit?
And he's like, fuck this, I'm going to my hurricane-proof gazebo. Previous episode, look it up. Bob Blair comes up.
Blah, blah, blah.
He says,
Blah, blah, blah.
my nightmares are getting progressively worse, which is the worst kind of worse in the right-wing mindset. Why is it getting worse? Don't know, really. Never really says. I thought it was going to be the Soviets, but no. He's going off to some lefty disarmament conference with the Soviets in about a month or something.
To talk about disarmament.
Yeah, which will
Basically.
presumably clear all of the
I
problems.
mean,
out
this
of
is
his head.
1984. This is sort of not
This
the
is when all
height
that was
of
happening.
Cold War, but it's near it. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, they were doing stuff like this. Yeah.
blah blah blah. He's like, you fucking what, mate? I love nuclear missiles, mate. But he doesn't say that. He's like, I'm your oldest and bestest friend. I also work for an incredibly secretive, top-level government agency.
Shadowy dream government agency, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, right, I've been working on something. We'll sort you out. And he goes, oh, sweet. And I'm just like, okay. That was strange. Like, the president was like, okay, random. Like, it seems weird that the president would be so quick to just be like, yeah, experimental surgery on my brain dreams.
I mean,
but then
maybe
he
it's
is-
Trump.
This is the thing. He is a very old white man.
Well, he's
all
president,
American
he's president of the
presidents are.
United
That's
States,
what
isn't he?
that's what they were like in those days.
That's true, yeah.
And
then-
these
What do you mean
days-
in those days?
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
exactly.
You've seen who's in charge now. Do we cut back to
Yeah, it's Tobias now, Mr. and Mrs. Weber.
Mr.
or
Weber, yeah.
Mr.
Mr.
punching
Weber
above his
and-
weight, clearly.
Yeah. And his wife are having a meeting with Dr. Hot Babe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's Bixby Snyder from RoboCop. He bought her for $1. Yeah,
It's a lot of stuff. Tobias Funke, yeah.
yeah.
They're basically saying that he wakes up on the lawn screaming her name every night, and the neighbours are starting to think he's a bit weird. I'm like, how many nights has this been going on? Because one night, understandable. 2 nights, but they go, okay.
Anything else happening? Oh, I've got a limp dick. Oh, right, it's probably that then.
Yeah, well, she basically says,
I
oh,
blew
well, he hasn't.
myself.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit later, but we'll get to that.
So he goes, Alex is watching through the two-way glass that they've cleaned, and he's like, okay, send me in, coach.
Yeah.
Put him to sleep, and he goes in,
They don't kill him, do they?
No.
Oh, right, okay.
No.
He just goes. He just goes to a farm.
No, they I think I don't understand because they gave the president a sedative, but everyone else is just allowed to fall asleep naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think that was just him.
Yeah, but
Which
it was
I don't
so
understand.
the president couldn't wake up.
Yeah, but
It's so he
I couldn't go
in
to sleep if I was in a chair and other people were watching me. I'd be very much of, can you not? Please.
I couldn't unless I'd had a wank first.
Well, and a tangerine.
They jump into his dream and they pull up his dream house. And the Tobias impersonation intensifies when he tells him to go around the back door while he comes around the front.
Remember, no prisoners. What's happening here?
Yeah, they race in there.
They race in, and I kind of like these sets because they're like Tim Burton-y.
Yeah,
highly sort of stylized and very well lit and stuff. They go up this red staircase upstairs where they hear his missus making sex noises.
Yeah. Those sex noises.
Stop it. And they open the door and she's having sex with his identical twin brother.
Yeah.
Just him without the syrup on.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh,
in front of the children.
In front of the children, which was weird because there's two kids sat in chairs. And then under the bed is all these golfing buddies.
Yeah, and then he opens the curtains and it's the gardener. And the gardener's obviously, an ethnic.
There's a priest, and I thought he was a Japanese infantryman.
That's what I thought as well. I was like, this has got weird.
The war was still going on.
And he goes, not you, Yokio, or whatever.
I was what the fuck was this?
What is this?
We in an episode of Tenko now. What's going on?
I mean, I thought it was going to get racist, but it didn't. So I was be thankful for that.
But he said something to the priest about how it's not going to work because he's Jewish. And I was like, there's too much. There's too much going on.
It was a good comedy bit. And then, it turns out that, his reason that he is impotent is because he feels his wife is cheating on him. And that's that dream solved.
Yeah,
that's it. Another case solved
as well.
Another case solved by Gardner the Dream fucking
detective
guy.
Agency.
Yeah,
I mean, this is my problem with this is that they could just have they could just have psychoanalysis and achieve the same result without plowing loads of money into.
Maybe just ask him some questions. Yeah, with his wife not in the room.
Would he answer them honestly though? That's the thing, isn't it?
I guess so.
You see.
Yeah.
Also, that wouldn't be a very good film. That would just be analyze this or whatever it was called.
Oh, that is a film.
My Dinner with Andre.
Oh, fuck. So yeah, another successful tick in the win box there. We've got girders solved and we've got fear of Japanese gardeners and priests. Does he go back to the bar at this point? Is this where we meet Norm and Norm explains?
At this point, we've still got the little kid's dream.
Yeah, he goes to see the little boy and he says that he'll be there in his dreams. Well, safeguarding him there immediately.
All right, Freddie. Thanks a fucking bunch.
Do we get two dream sequences that close together? I can't.
There's a sort of weak linking scene where he goes to visit Novotny and they smash a glass of Glenfiddich each.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So he goes into little Bobby Bumper's dream.
But before he does, Patrick Kelly's kind of giving him shit about, isn't he? It's like, I should have been in this dream and you're going in, but I've been in it before and I couldn't figure out what the problem was or something. I can't remember.
Right.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's just him doing Johnny Big Bollocks. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
But he goes in and it's this kid's in his house.
It's good.
In his Beetlejuice house.
The frame rate was all fucked up as well. I thought that was quite good. It is sort of a bit fucked up and
disorienting. Yeah.
Snake Mans are coming.
And he's like, no, the Snake Man's coming. And there's a knock on the door. He goes to answer it. There's nobody there. And then, a hand comes through the window. Seven's hand comes through the window and grabs him. And he's like, no, get off him. And then, for some reason, his dad's just sat there and he goes, I'm not fucking helping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like, he's a little rat bastard.
Yeah. I was like, I hope you get eaten by the Snake Man. And the Snake Man does eat him. They go down some spooky stairs into a basement. All the best things happen in basements.
All flashing lights and stuff like that.
Snake Man comes down. Snake Man busts open the doors.
Does come down.
Yeah.
He's part man, part snake.
Snake.
All smooth jazz. I think I was thinking of Snake Davis when I wrote that, actually. But yeah.
He looks very similar to Cobra Man, I think, from He-Man.
Yeah.
He does look like Cobra Man. Yeah. But it looks good. It's some good stop motion stuff.
Yeah. And live action stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he got a real Snake Man in.
They did a stunt Snake Man.
Snake Man wrangling.
The Snake Union was not happy.
The Snoonian.
about being shown in such a derogatory light. Not all snake men, hashtag. Yeah, there's a fight thing, and he's like, the snake man overpowers Alex, and he's like, Buddy, help me, you little prick. And
stove his head in with this. Go on.
And yeah, basically, like, Buddy gets an axe and like starts stabbing Snake Man up with this axe, and then like lops his head off. It falls into like an infinity portal. And that's it. That's that. Another tick. This is
Fixed.
Piece of piss.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
What was that about his dad? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. His dad's dead in the dream, eaten by Snake Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his dad couldn't be a problem. You know, in the real world, that couldn't reflect into his dreams at all. It's done because we killed the Snake Man.
Yeah,
he's got an head off. Yeah, okay.
That's it. It's a simpler time. We don't look into stuff like that. Another tick in the win box. This is well worth the funding, lads. That's what he says. I think then he must go to the bar, then, isn't it? And we meet Norm.
He makes a shit drawing of the Snake Man, and Tommy sees that, and he's like, "You're afraid of snake men now, aren't you?" And
yeah, why didn't he? I never saw. He screwed it up and then threw it like 5 inches to the left.
Yeah, because there's a fire in the background. Was he supposed to like? He meant to hit the fire and missed it.
Oh, right. Okay. Now, it was at this point I realised we're halfway through the film and there's not been a bar of Kate Capshaw singing Anything Goes in Mandarin. I was very disappointed.
She's not been in it that much, to be fair. And she's less annoying in this than she is in Indiana Jones. But he goes to this bar where he meets Norm.
Now, did you spot what Norm's book was called?
Yes, I did.
It was called... I was like, is he getting Garth Marenghi to ghostwrite these for him?
It's the same name as the films out of the Scream franchise.
It is. It's
Stab! Exclamation mark.
Loved it. Did you get any other blurb on the back?
No, I didn't.
I couldn't see it.
I could only see a little bit of it. It's in bullet points, which is weird for a blurb. It says, an ancient curse, an ancient knife, a modern reign of terror. And then it's got like an about the author bit with a tiny picture of Norm on it. I loved it. Oh. Yeah, I wish I could have seen more of it.
Well, when they bring it out as a film, as a sequel to...
I'm hoping that Norm got residuals from the Scream franchise because he'd written the book that ended
it was based on.
Yeah, or either that or I'm really confused by how film and reality works.
But he's supposed to be like a Stephen King-y sort of... He writes horror books, and he sort of laughs and goes, "Oh, you write this trash." And he goes, "Yeah, but I'm also doing research on blah, blah, blah." And his top
he's
secret...
head of covert intelligence.
He's head of the super secret spooky boys, yeah.
So he's either... So is he... Is he Stephen King or is he Louis Theroux? Can we figure it out? Because you can't be both.
1984, he's not Stephen King because he's not up to his eyeballs in fucking Ching, is he? Like,
well, I don't know. We never saw him leaving the bathroom, giving it.
He does look a lot thinner than he does when he's in Cheers. So maybe he is. Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah.
And he's like, I need you're part of this. I need you to help get me information or something. I don't really understand what Norm's role was. He's just exposing it, isn't he? He's exposition dump. Yeah.
He's there for a flash mob a little bit later on.
Speaking of which, he has to leave quite abruptly. An agent steps foot in the bar, and it's all very shifty. It's always the same agent as well. They just pay him to stand menacingly at places.
Yeah, it's Babcock.
Alex then goes to find Dr. Hotbabe asleep on her sofa, and he jumps into a dream and fucks her.
Yeah.
Now, she's on the Orient Express, I assumed. And he comes in, one too many buttons undone.
It was very Tales of the Heaving Bosoms on the High Seas.
Yes. I have written
it was a billowing
here,
overshirt.
Is this Loving the Time of Scurvy from The Simpsons? Well done, Joe.
Thank you. It was, though, because I was like, he's got windswept hair and he's got like a 4-button system going on. She's sitting there in a summer frock. Right, this was the bit that I was like, it makes sense at the end now. A ticket inspector guy's like, "Tickets, please." And then does a big long look at the camera as he walks past. And I was like, this is odd. But okay, maybe he won a prize to be in the film or something. I don't know.
He's is he not one of the Uncanny Valley characters out of the Polar Express? That's what he looked like.
Yeah. Oh, he looks more like Paranoia from Red Dwarf, actually.
It does. I've written here, dream rape? ?
Yeah, well, she seems into it, but she thinks it's a dream, but it's actually him.
Yeah.
And it's a I don't want to say it's a grey area because that makes it sound like I'm a dream rape apologist. But
not all dream rapers.
Hashtag no, but it's a strange thing because he's jumped into her dream without using the computer. He's just sat in the room with her, and he's that good at it now after 3 goes.
Yeah.
He can just do it without even, which is dangerous as well.
Yeah.
Imagine him in like a travel lodge. Oh. Yeah, he goes in and like they do a sex, but she seems into it, and like I think she thinks it's a dream.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she wakes up and she realizes that he's an asshole.
Yeah.
And then they squabble, and then he wings her back by pointing out that he didn't need the hook to do it. And she goes, "Oh, you cheeky boy, you!"
Yeah.
And
I am a bit
he's-
easy.
He's
Yeah.
won her back again.
didn't
so
take
that's
much,
fine,
did
isn't
it? Yeah, is it? I don't know. There was
It's
like
the scary
I think there was-
possibilities of this.
I think there
of
was
this
a bit
power,
earlier
isn't it?
where she was sat at a desk and he comes in and just like sticks the lips on her, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she goes,
that's in a
"Oh,
bit.
you," and I was like, "This is not like,"
Yeah.
but
Horrible.
horrible, man. Do we cut then to? Is this Tommy Ray and the old lady?
This is Bob Blair
Yeah.
chatting with Novotny about the president's dreams. He says that he's got to emasculate our nuclear deterrent and leave this country on its knees.
Oh.
Freudian overtones much.
Lots of
so that the
symbolism.
program now is focused on the president, who's gonna either they're gonna go to him or he's gonna
Mhm.
come to them.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's resolved, but it is by the
He-
president totally coming to them. But yeah,
Yes, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Even though they keep going on about the wings, and I was like,
yeah, the West Wing.
Yeah.
"You've got one corridor,
Yeah.
mate, and then
Yeah.
that's got a pumping room full of chlorine anyway." And then ropes that you use, then the little floaty ropes
And
that you use to swimming lanes in.
And a little thing that you have to walk through to get your feet covered in chlorine before you get the
Get
baths.
verrucas, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he sort of said, "We're going to use this to cure the president." Wink. And Robotnik is like, "Something wrong with your eye?"
Yeah, Tommy's linked up, so the bad one, Tommy's linked up to an old lady who dies, clutches her
Mhm.
heart, sort of thing. Alex confronts him about this in the refectory or something, and he says that, "Oh, it's fine. She had a bum ticker," which I really liked as a line.
That sandwich he was eating looked really nice.
It did. It
Yeah.
looked yeah,
Yeah,
sandwich.
look.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was very nice.
And
That.
he's like, "Yeah, that's I eat to forget," and I was like, "Yeah, mate, me too. I feel a little bit seen here."
But yeah, and it turns out this woman suffered a massive cardiac arrest in the dream,
Yeah.
and as we find out later on, Tommy Ray has
Yeah, it's
stabbed
deliberate.
her with a dream knife.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Bob
Which-
LeBlanc says.
Which closed captions put as a green knife. I didn't think that was quite right. But yeah, Bob blah blah goes to see him and says, Tommy says, you promised me. You said you have big plans for me, and so on. He's like, "Oh, I do. Just you wait, Tommy."
And if you don't
Just
do
you
them,
wait.
I'll do you a murder.
Tommy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it turns out they were in cahoots all along. This was the test to see if... I think this is where we find out if you die in a dream, you die in real life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Just like the old wives' tale says, even though it's not, it's an urban legend, isn't it?
Yeah, 'cause how would you know?
It's not an old wives' tale. It's not like a stitch in time saves 9. If you die in your sleep, you die
Die in
for
your
real.
sleep,
Yeah.
never make a peep. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's that was a bit... Okay, this makes sense now.
Yeah, so Alex
see
is
what's
a bit
going on.
suspicious, and he's like, "Don't trust that, Tommy. I'm just going to sneak into Robotnik's office and then open up this filing cabinet that isn't locked. So that's a GDPR breach, isn't it?"
It was the 80s, it didn't happen back then. There was no GDPR.
Well, no, that's quite true. It says he pulls out like this clipping in his file. It says, "Self-proclaimed psychic murders father."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Robotnik knew he was a murderer.
Yeah.
Why get him involved in the
Yeah.
thing? Like, you wouldn't hire an unstable person, would you?
Well, I believe Neil Armstrong wasn't a fucking saint, you know.
I don't think he was a murderer, though.
Prove me wrong, Neil
Also,
Armstrong.
he did-
Where are the
Neil
clangers now? Hey,
He also didn't say self-proclaimed astronaut Neil Armstrong. You invented the moon,
yeah.
Neil. I
Look-
think you'll find.
Look out, they're ruffled. Oh, that was Buzz Aldrin.
It's so it's all shit set in the fan now. There's a murderer. The president's come in. It's the final 30 minutes, and we meet Charlie Prince at night on the quad, the same place that everything else is filmed in. And Prince somehow knows that Tommy killed the old lady, even though he wasn't there and Alex was. I'm
Don't
like,
worry about that.
"What?"
Norm Powers, Woody told him, or Coach, or Ted Danson's character, Frank.
Or one of those two women. that
Rhea
were
Perlman,
interchangeable.
Yeah. Frasier, before he left, was like, "Oh, Niles, really?"
What, as he
See?
fell off the stage?
Loads of impressions today, lads. Yeah, and then for some reason, a load of hired goons show up. There's so many hired goons in this film.
Sports crowd comes
Yeah.
out.
Hey,
Like, the end of Greece happens. They all come running out of this sports hall.
They're all
And-
changing a chingy chang and all that.
And they're all trying to get away through them, and they're being pushed, and then just like the goons get them, they grab Alex and drag him off, and then they just do that cool thing that assassins do of just shooting him and walking off. They shoot Norm for no reason.
Well,
He knows
because
too much.
they're onto him. Yeah, he does.
He knows more
too
than when
much.
he's been in the room, so he must be a psychic as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
Bob Blair tries
The
to persuade
epitaph the
him.
next day, though, it'd be like, notorious stab author Norm has been found dead.
Stabbed.
Trampled by aggressive marching band. It's how the psychic said he would die.
Yeah, so he tries to persuade him, Bob Blair, because he's now riding in the car with him. He admits immediately to getting Tommy to kill the old lady with a green knife, and he wants him to work for him or just die.
You have two choices. You work for us
Yep.
or you die.
And he's like,
he
third
goes,
choice, I'm just going to leap out of the car.
third choice. He's already threatened to do it once, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like
Third-
when
yeah.
Babcock picked him up.
Yeah.
At
His
the
third
start,
choice is to roll down a slight embankment and do his ankle.
He fucking, this was tremendous. He rolls down this hill, and a guy on a dirt bike, because of course it's the 80s,
Mhm.
someone's
Yeah.
got to be on a dirt bike.
Yeah.
Comes along, he stands there, and the guy just goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake," and falls off.
Yeah. And are you all right? And he goes, "What?" And he goes, "Are you all right?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm fine."
Great, I'll have your bike."
He goes, "No, you rotter."
That's how I get bikes in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, you do. You just if you
Stand
come out
in front of them.
from the front, you can fly and kick them off.
Yeah.
And then he just rides around for a bit. The two guys like, "Oh,
president-
we've
yeah.
lost him, but you better find him,"
And kill him.
says Bob Blah Blah.
So the president arrives at the university. Alex pitches up somewhere and phones Dr. Hot Babe from a public phone box that's randomly in the middle of a car park somewhere.
It's got very big Blues Brothers energy, this section.
Yeah. She tells her this mad story about, the government conspiracy and so on. And she's like, oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
I'll leave the door open at the loading dock. I was like, how much loading is there going on at a university? Those
Cory?
quarto journals.
Yeah, that's right.
All the
Water.
chlorine coming in, them big foam tiles that you've got to use if you can't swim proper.
Yeah, they're foam bricks and pajamas that you throw at the bottom of your.
See, Mark
Yeah.
remembers having to swim
Yeah.
in your pajamas. It's
There
not
you
just
go.
me.
We were very poor though in the 80s. That's why couldn't afford swimming trunks.
Couldn't afford a costume now.
I know I don't bang on about it, but I grew up during the miners' strike.
My sisters had knitted swimming costumes at one point.
Oh, get out! What was it? The 30s?
No, my mum knitters everything. Like, the thing is, you've got to stretch them out with water before you put them on, because otherwise they just go way. And your gussets around your ankles. Like,
Is there pictures of you on the beach in a suit?
in one of those paddling huts they push out into the ocean so no one sees my naked flesh. So he's making this phone call. We get a lot of plot exposition here of they're going to kill the president because he's too soft on nuclear disarmament, and they're going to get Tommy to do it because he can feel me. And she goes, all right, well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to get any. Oh, because you can't phone the police because the police because he's top level clearance,
Yeah.
isn't he? I'll leave the loading bay open. Okay, cheers for that, love. But they're going to try and kill me. Oh no! And this car's speeding towards him. He gets out of the way just in time. They
wait for him to finish his fucking
His phone
conversation
call,
on the phone.
And then there's no way for Bill and Ted to get back to
There must be about
1989.
$4 in change here. He gets on the dirt bike and we get a chase.
Yes.
Oh yeah, back to one of only 3 sets.
To the dog track.
To the dog track, to the horse track. He gets down there and he
What
just
he
razzes
basically
this
does.
bike in as well.
To get away from one lot of guys, bad bastards who want him dead, he goes to the other bunch of bad bastards who want him dead. Like, it doesn't make a lick of sense to me at all, that.
The enemy of my enemy.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Against
get
one
that,
another, yeah.
I don't think he had any options because there was no other shooting locations available.
Yeah.
So he goes in.
He gives him some winners as a bit of a trade. He says, I'll give you the next
I'll
3
give
winners.
you 3, and he's like, make it 6. He's going, no, 5, and he's like, yeah, go on then. Oh, that's fine to be sure. I'll stop the bastards for you. Yeah.
He says, no, just slow them down. Doesn't say stop them or anything. Like, they're Irish.
But he wasn't dead Irish at the beginning.
No,
like he wasn't this Irish at the beginning.
I think it was filmed over a number of weeks. What
of
character was
bottles
I
of
doing?
gin.
Sorry. Yeah. So he just goes round and round this racetrack, waiting
And he's
for
like,
him to show
there,
up.
a ramp, go for it. And it reminded me actually of, did anyone play that PS2 game that was like a Stuntman? It might have been called Stuntman.
It was called Stuntman, yeah.
That was fucking ace, and it reminded me of that.
Was good, yeah.
It goes through that across some railings into
set
some
myself
hay.
on fire.
Yeah, all right. The slowing them up just involves getting on horses and going, "Hey, what about you?"
Yeah.
Like that in front of them.
I'm trying to run fucking horses here.
But then the car like just drives through that white barrier thing, and I'm like, you can't. You're supposed to be like top level ultra secret security guys, and you're going around like the A team at this point, just smashing shit up. He jumps off the thing and crashes down some stairs. But look, thankfully, this is where they keep all the hay bales at the bottom of the stairs.
Well, the horse has got to eat.
Horses can't go downstairs, can they?
There's a horse box right there, and he goes into the horse box, and it drives off. I was thinking, I'd love to see a cutscene to later where he's just in the middle of a big ranch, because that's where he'd be taken. Never explains
you
how
got
he gets
pretty
back to the
miles
past.
on you.
He ends up in Nope.
No, he could have used his psychic powers to the driver, go like, take me to the swimming
Ah,
baths. Yeah.
okay. Or his telekinesis that never appears in the film to
He keeps
undo
steering
the
the wheel to the left, and the guy's like, "Oh, need my wheels balancing."
I'm just going round in circles here.
Till everyone gets dizzy. The president is like, they're getting him prepped for this thing. And is this when like Alex arrives?
by the loading bay, and they find a station wagon with some goons.
Yeah, well, what we've missed here is that the old priest from The Exorcist gets cornered in the only corridor that we've got, the swimming baths corridor.
Yeah, he's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell the world. I've took some files, but also I'm just going to walk and you're going to leave me alone. And then, like, the hired goons just get him.
He's like, the power of dreams compels you. The power of dreams compels you.
They put him in the back of this brown station wagon that they used for
the Griswold's car.
Yeah,
I also think it was Tobias Funke's car. He was driving in his dream as well. And yeah.
Do you reckon that ramp was that thing? Yeah, no, never mind.
So like they sneak up on this guy who's checking a map or something, like in the front of this car. It's where
there's
the
boxes and a body. Yeah.
And he pulls him out and he goes, "Tell me where he is." And they find out that
the president's going to be sleeping in the door next to Tommy. Oh, even I could have guessed that. Didn't need to.
But now Tommy can dream leap as well.
Yes.
I
instantly figured it out.
Sure. So he bops him on the head. I always like that in films when people who have never shown any sort of like violent wherewithal up to that point can somehow cold cock someone to knock them out. Like it's just fun. They run off, and quick, we'll use my office. It's directly underneath the president's room. Okay, I don't know how you know that. That's a lot, babe, but whatevs.
So there's only two corridors. That's why.
Yeah, there's an upstairs and a downstairs. It's got to be one of these rooms. If you just pace it out, it'd be fine. Tommy and blah 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 are just smoking, listening to records in his room. She's like, "Do you like The Cure?" It's really weird because they're just sat in there smoking and like. Tommy's
I
weird.
was thinking this is like halls of residence, and the president sleeping there is.
But it needs to get his brain fixed.
Our halls of residence had a hole in it, and people just used to cast rubbish into it to fill it up. That's what he's subjecting himself to.
I think it's slightly nicer than that. They've got a swimming pool. That's all they've got.
Swimming.
The president's gone to sleep. Tommy says, and blah 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 is like, right, get in there and do it. Alex runs into the room, stands on a chair, and like puts his hands on the ceiling. And goes, I can't reach him. And so then he lies.
Is that what he was doing? Because I was like, why is he trying to climb into the vents?
Yeah,
that is what everybody does in every film ever. But
that's what I assumed. Anyway, I assumed he was trying to like reach out and and so he goes, I know what I'll do. I'll just lie on this desk. And Dr. Hotbabe's like, remember your breathing. And then he goes into the dream world.
Yep.
The president's riding like a cable car.
Like a trolley car, through a Monty Python animation.
Clang, clang, clang. And Alex appears and he's like, Mr. President, some fuckery's about to go down.
And he's like, you got to wake up. He's like, I can't. They give me a sedative. It's like, fucking hell, mate.
But that's the thing. So he knows he's dreaming, the president.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't he change his dream if he's
Well, why
aware that
tell
he's
me?
dreaming?
Well, he
No, but
doesn't
that's
have
the
the
point of
power
lucid
to.
dreaming,
Alex
isn't it?
has the power to. Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I did all this. This is all my fault. And he's like, you can't blame yourself, pal. And then, dun dun dun.
Here comes Tommy.
Tommy Ray appears. Tommy Ray appears, and he's like, "Let the fuckery commence, sunshine."
And then there's this Irish cop. Now, come on, laddie, I'm going to move you along. Yeah.
It's like, is
Come
there an
on.
Irish cop psychic we've not met yet? And he's like, "I'll come along for the bands, yeah."
For the crack, yeah.
And he finishes him off with schnickety schnick.
Yeah.
He's got
Yes,
He's got Meg's super mutant power out of Family Guy, where it just makes the nails grow a little
Scratchy
bit.
fingernails. He rips.
Yeah,
his
well,
heart out.
Willie's like, oh, this looks very familiar. Somebody reaching into a man's heart and grab.
Yeah. Rips his heart out and throws it at Alex and goes, "Have a heart." And I was like, it's not James Bond, is it? This like,
Two out of 10. Next.
He then cranks the trolley up big style, so everyone falls over a bit and it crashes. And then they do.
He's in a subway train.
Yeah,
it changes completely to a darkened subway train, which is full of these mutants. It looks like the last tram on a Saturday night to Oldham.
Yeah, to be fair. And he's like, "I'll protect you, Mr. President." And then, like, I think at this point, Tommy has said that like he's the one in charge because he can make anything happen.
Yeah, I can change the dream however I want, kind of thing. It's like, that was him. He dropped the bomb. Man. And they're like, oh, must kill him.
He did it. The Warriors.
Watching this, I have to say, on ×2 speed, the second time around was a wild fairground ride for this.
I can imagine.
I will
this
say,
looks good.
what was he called? Vonnegut Jarre, who did the music.
Yeah.
Like Jean-Michel Jarre's brother.
Yeah.
Like Jean-Michel Jarre's circus-obsessed brother. Because a lot of the music is very Wurlitzery sort of...
yeah.
But is this when he pulls out like these nunchucks and he does like
and he's like, hey,
nunchucks.
I've seen Enter the Dragon 6 times. I was like, mate, I've seen it about 60 times.
I was
Get
over
over
it
yourself.
a lot. Yeah. But also, does that work in dreams if you're good at karate? You think, is it like the Matrix? We'll never know.
He knows kung fu. Yeah.
Anyway, he does this spin. He does all this cool spinning the nunchucks round, and then like Alex just dodges it, and then we never go back to that again.
It's very Roadrunner, isn't it? Once you've tried one thing, you never go back to it.
They run off, and he's like, "I'm gonna get you. You can't run forever." I know what scares you. I think at this point,
that's it. Big Snake Man time.
And then he turns into Snake Man because he can change it to anything. They run off. They get like there's some laser dogs.
Yeah, and there's this there's this bit where they have to jump over some slime and then go down a slide into some slime. It was like Funhouse without Pat Sharp.
Expecting Noel Edmonds to come out at some point
of his crinkly bottom. Yeah,
they have to, like, the president nearly falls into the slime for no reason. But then there's this glowing sparky light that they have to like circumvent. One of the laser dogs touches it, and we get like a minute long of this dog being electrocuted.
Seemed a little bit unkind.
Which I thought was, I don't think they really electrocuted a dog. It was the 80s, possibly. They keep going, like, and then he appears. They have a fight. He bites Alex, Snake Man. And he's like, ha ha ha. He spends too long pontificating at this point.
Yeah,
going,
it's a real Bond villain thing.
It's a classic thing of like, never tell them your plan. And Alex is like, hang on, I can change the dream, and turns himself into Tommy Ray's dad. Yeah. With the
why did you kill me, Tommy? Why did you do it? Oh, Dad! And then he turns himself back into himself, and then bow staff, motherfucker, through the chest.
President, all his ninja training. Let's open that room. I just want to see a room where people get trained like in James Bond.
Secret Service twats.
He stabs him through the chest, and in Tommy's room in the real world, Tommy does a brilliant. Death.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
which is like great. And then the president wakes up because the sedative wears off. I guess it wasn't a great sedative. Alex is there as well, and they're like, blah blah blah's like, when you can't do anything, I'm more powerful than you.
It was like, I'm the president, bitch.
I'm the president. He's like, no one will believe you.
I took over all of the state for nothing.
Surely you would just, as the president, and Rachel watched the end of this film with me, as the president, you just go, this guy tried to kill me, and that's enough.
Yeah, Babcock
like,
would have fucking Pam like that. Yeah,
exactly.
Babcock was
got Pam to do what? I don't understand.
Babcock would have just shot blah 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 in the head. Yeah.
Bam.
Bam. Blammo.
Blammo.
Oh, Bam. I thought you said Pam. It's like,
Pam. Are you saying Pan or Pam? But you got like the president's like, oh, you haven't heard the last of this.
Yeah.
Alex goes outside and meets the president.
In the quad. It was either there, the dog track, or the pub. So
The president isn't going to the dog track, is he? Like, and he's like, I'll send some men to protect you. And I think I've got to do this on my own. Or my way, he says.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Bob Loblaw walking down a different shiny corridor now. So they must have had access to somewhere else to film this on pickups or something. And he opens a corridor and inside is Alex. And he goes, hang on. And then Alex goes, motherfucker! Rips his head open. And there's like one of those things from V.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, very good. Yeah. It's really weird because he's in a lift. He's like, how did you get in here? In the fucking lift? Have you, like, do you not know how lifts work?
Are you saying it's not a dream?
Well, this was it then, you see. It needs like that horn, like the Inception horn, when what's going on. Because at this point, I was like, okay.
Oh, there's a better film there, I think. I think there's a modern version of this if you Inceptionize it.
It's going to get as Inception as it's going to get in this last scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's killed off him.
We killed him off, and his missus wakes up.
Come on, wake
Bob
up.
Loblaw's
Wake
missus
up.
is like, come on, you're going to be late.
Wake up.
Turns over, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Alex has become a dream murderer. Everything his father said he would never be. And then we get this last scene where Hot Babe, Doctor, and Alex are taking a 4-day trip on a train to
and
a
they're
different
only
horse track.
Yeah, she's like, you don't like betting.
Oh,
he's like,
4
no.
days by train.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's
delightful.
It's the train trip that's the reason. And I was like, you fucking pervert.
I guess the movement would save you a lot of energy. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only thing I could think of, possibly.
Choo choo, motherfucker.
But yeah, they get on. He like slaps her ass when they get on, and I was like, "Hey, this is." And then as they go into their room cabin, like Harry Potter bit, the ticket inspector guy from before, he's like, "Tickets, please." And then they look at him, and then they go, "What are you gonna do?" I was like,
and there's a freeze frame, and it turns out to be the 80s. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then it ends, and I was like, "So are they just humping in dreams now?" Like.
Well, yeah, there's probably a sequel where there's that.
Dream humpers.
My favorite part here was being able to mute the sound because it went through me like a knife. This bit of the soundtrack, it was really pitchy. And at the very end, the last person that gets credited is Larry Sedaris as the Snakeman. I assume of the Brooklyn Snakeman.
Jake the Snakeman Roberts. Yeah, that was the film.
What a load of old tuts.
So
much better than
It had the nuggets of greatness in it, but it felt really sort of rushed at the end.
It felt like it probably only needed to be 79 minutes long, not 100 minutes long.
It went by all right for me, but the problem for me was that I watched the film the first time round and I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense, it's a good film. And then I started thinking about it and it all started falling apart. But that's what a dream is like. So back around. So I'm gonna give
and then you woke up.
And then on the strength of that, I'm gonna give it 1 silver saxophone. It never had enough, it didn't have enough there, but it was enjoyable.
Oh, Mark?
2 bronze snakemans.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was no aftermath, though, was it? Nothing ever will.
No.
I'm going to give it 4 silver Wolverine neck fingers.
Yeah. Did you not have the thumb? You're missing the thumb from that. That's a shame. Because that's the key one, isn't it? Yeah.
Can't hitchhike with that. I said, compared to some of the shit I've had to watch recently, this was like a genuinely blessedly good film. It's not saying much, I know, but moving on.
Right, so that was Dreamscape 1984. It's got better names in different languages, people.
Oh, man.
It's
one called
known
Sneaky
as
Fight Time.
Dream Rape.
It's also known as Hellischer Trauma, which is hellish dreams in German. El Tunnel de las Pesadillas de Tunnel of Nightmares in Argentina. Nugar del Wilde Drommenjagd, which is
something now goes
it's Danish for now goes the wild dream chase. I don't know
Through
if I added the
nuggets.
exclamation mark there.
Now goes the wild dream chase. Are you in Iron Butterfly? What's going on?
1984, the same year as Beverly Hills Cop, the first Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So she was very busy this year, that woman.
Was that before or after this, though?
I think it came out shortly before, but I don't know about when they filmed it. Some solid films that year. It's loosely based on Roger Zelazny's 1966 novel The Dream Master, although he wasn't ever credited. They switched it up a lot because I read the Wikipedia blurb for that. And
Is that not the Macaulay Culkin in the library with the cartoon books film?
That sounds vaguely familiar, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it might just be a similar sounding title. It won Best Film Award in 1985 and the Brussels International Festival of Fantasy Film, which is the acronym is BIF.
That's French for beef, isn't it?
And it had a budget of $6 million. It made $12.1 million at the box office, or it's the equivalent of $41 million today, which is the equivalent of 875 of the most expensive pillows ever made. The expensive pillows retail at £46,000 each, and according to the Economic Times, it took this Dutch man 15 years to perfect this pillow, working tirelessly throughout.
You should have tried sleeping on it. You wouldn't be so tired.
Set that one up.
Sorry. What makes it worth that amount of money? Is it full of angels' pubes? What?
It's made of Egyptian cotton and mulberry silk and is filled with non-toxic love fluff, Dutch memory foam. It's custom made.
I don't want Dutch memory. It's all windmills.
Blocks.
It's
little mice wearing them.
For
Sorry.
each person. The exact dimensions of the person's shoulders, head, neck is carefully measured using a 3D scanner. And what makes it so costly is that it comes studded with 24-karat gold, diamond, and sapphire.
That's not comfortable. I'm going to wake up. If I fall asleep on the couch on the knitted cushions and I come with all cross-hatching on my face.
There's 4 diamonds and a sapphire alone attached to the zip. So I guess you could sleep easy knowing that you've blown all your money on a pillow.
It's going to be horrible to have a pillow fight with that if you get hit with a zip end, isn't it? Mom, I've lost my eye.
It's literally a blood diamond.
So 875 of those, please. I suppose you could make a big pillow fort out of it. It was directed and written by Joseph Rubin. He also did a horror film called The Stepfather in 1987. Which
The Stepfather's great. Yeah, Terry O'Quinn. Yeah. From Lost.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good.
But his most recent film is The Ottoman Lieutenant in 2017, in which he ended up disowning that because of the post-production changes that deny the Armenian genocide. So that's nice, isn't it?
And did they make the main character a kind of a seat which you could lift up and put things in? That's a very different kind of Ottoman Empire, isn't it?
See, what you've done there is you've just taken something that was very, very dark, and then you've just made a quick pun.
Hippopotamus.
And made it all light again.
I'm just trying to figure out why else you have me on.
Alex Gardner then, Dennis Quaid. I've just put lots of things. I must have been very tired when I wrote this. Yeah, he has a big hard-on for Ronald Reagan, so I don't feel like I actually like him all that much. He's actually been cast as Reagan in a biopic that will most likely not cover the fact that the Reagan campaign secretly schemed to get the Iranian hostages released after the 1979 election instead of before, therefore torpedoing Jimmy Carter's re-election campaign, which was released in, I believe it was the New York Times earlier this week.
It was, yeah.
Fantastic, that.
Topical.
It's awful, but, it's astonishing that would... I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe when I read it how fucking just dirty the world is.
Yep. Yeah. He's created his own podcast, a rival podcast, if you will, at The Pet Show with Dennis Quaid and Jimmy Jelinek. It's going from 2020, so it's obviously a COVID baby. In the process, he learned of a cat in Lynchburg, Virginia, that's also named Dennis Quaid, which he subsequently adopted.
I could do. My name's Dennis Quaid. Adopt me. I'll change my name to Dennis Quaid.
Meg Ryan would be your new man.
This 40-something man could be yours.
Yeah, but also then Randy Quaid might show up at Christmas or something.
Oh,
and that's a fucking nightmare you don't want, innit? With this Donald Trump mask on bumming you. Yeah, nobody wants that.
Shit is full.
He also starred in a Ringo Starr comedy, Caveman, in 1981.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
please.
Yeah. Have you not seen it?
No.
Not seen it.
Atrocious. It is atrocious.
I
It
kind of
makes
want to
the
watch it.
Crudes look like high concept
Let's
comedy.
hit these dinosaurs with a bat.
Said Thomas.
Yeah, Jane DeVry was Kate Capshaw, now Spielberg, most famous obviously for a character in The Temple of Doom, where she met Steven Spielberg, and they married in 1991. So that's nice.
Senior
And here's the
Spielbergo.
thing: no one had seen anything non-Union Mexican equivalent. No one had seen anything of Kate Capshaw since 1984.
No.
But this week, in the last week, because your short round won an Oscar, she got wheeled out to have a photo with him.
Of course.
Yeah.
In a mirror of the photo that she took with her husband or husband to be, the kid, and yeah, I've just had enough. If he was that good an actor, where the fuck has he been? Anyway, enough. We're not here for that.
Or maybe we are. I don't know.
No, we're not. We're not.
I mean, we've done Armenian genocide.
I mean, this is very topical.
Anything? Why has he not done anything?
We've done Reagan,
I think he just
sabotage,
chose-
Jimmy Carter.
It's difficult as a child actor to go from child actor to adult actor, isn't it?
Well,
Look
be
at
like
Macaulay
Macaulay
Culkin.
Culkin, and you don't have to. Macaulay
What?
Culkin just sits around getting stoned.
Macaulay Culkin is in a what is it? A Velvet Underground pizza themed novelty band. He can get in the
What?
fucking bin, mate.
He does exactly what he wants to do because of all the Home Alone cash that he gets every Christmas.
To be fair, like Macaulay Culkin has that thing of sometimes looking quite attractive and sometimes looking like fucking that lad from Baby Shambles. Now,
You would hate it if your daughter turned up with him, wouldn't you?
Like,
Hello,
can
Dad.
can you just turn to the left? Oh, that's all right now. Oh no, now Pete, what's his name's back? No.
Sweaty fat London breakfast man.
He was on Buzzcocks. He got big fat since he's packed.
he likes
packed,
packed in the smack and replaced
packed
it
the
with
gear
London
in and
breakfast.
got into sausages. Yeah.
Anyway,
Injecting
moving
him
on.
into his veins, I think.
Moving on. Dr. Novotny, Max von Sydow, died in 2020. First came to prominence in the Ingmar Bergman film The Seventh Seal, where he famously plays chess with death. I didn't realise that was where that comes from, so
Yeah.
that was new to me.
It's worth a watch.
In 2012, in an interview, he said that Ingmar Bergman had told him that he would contact him after death to show them that there was a life after death, which he apparently did. So that's
In this
fun.
film.
No, this film just died.
That's why he became a priest, so that he could speak with them.
I've looked through his back catalogue, and the best one of all, which I thought you'd like, is just I can't reconcile what I've read. It's called Egg, a hard-boiled story.
What, egg like a bird's egg?
Egg.
Egg. It's got exclamation marks after it. Egg, a hard-boiled story from 1975. The patriarch of a seemingly nameless family is factory owner whose work has transformed eggs into specialized tools for scratching certain unreachable human itches. I don't know what that means for a start. The father
Like a
rules
sex
both-
thing.
I'm guessing so. The father rules both his business and his family with an iron fist. So
With
when
an iron
the
egg.
son rebels against him, it comes as no surprise that the father doesn't take it very well.
I
It's
mean, that
very,
just
very
sounds
cryptic.
fucking insane, to be honest. I want to know about these sex eggs.
Yeah, well, so he had a long and
Sex egg.
varied career. That was the weirdest thing I could find. So I then did the same with Christopher Plummer as well, or blah blah. He's most famous, of course, for The Sound of Music, but he's less famous for Star Crash.
Yes!
1978.
Yeah.
An outlaw smuggler and her alien companion are recruited by the Emperor of the Galaxy to rescue his son and destroy a secret weapon by the evil Count Zarf Arm.
Yep, it's a cracker. It's a.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, everyone's seen Star Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
It's a
It's worth a
classic of
watch.
the genre.
It sounds amazing.
It
There's
makes
a lot
Ice
of-
Pirates look decent.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in like silver jumpsuits fucking about
Yes,
in the
please.
gasworks. Yeah,
That's what I want it to be.
Yeah.
there's a lot of people falling off gantries. And I think, is it not Mystery Science Theater 3000 did it? And like all the way through it, they keep calling the main guy like Beef Hardthrob. And like, yeah, they just keep making up names of just.
Oh, right. If they've done
Yeah.
it, then we're not doing it.
Yeah.
But I am
Oh
gonna
no,
watch
you
it.
couldn't do Star Crash. Everyone's. There's also all the models of the spaceships look like Star Wars models, but they've just glued all the sprues that the plastic.
Yeah.
Like, they just glued them on as well to make it look futuristic. It's fun.
It's like what would happen if I made a film, to be honest. And thus James Fax slumbers once more.
Dreamscape. I get overwhelmingly positive for this. I had to really scramble about to try and find someone who hated it because it is what it is. It's a mid-80s sci-fi sort of romp filmed in a leisure centre.
Popular with lads our age, I assume.
If it had that topless scene in it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, it wasn't the old woman whose heart exploded. But 1 out of 10. dull dream drama by Helpless Dancer 21. This was a total wipeout. Not 1 minute minute amount, I think that's supposed to say. Not a smattering of anything worth seeing. I usually like Quaid, but he had nothing to work with on this flopperoo.
A what?
Flopperoo. I think it's supposed to say flopperoo, but there's an extra L in it.
Oh, right. Okay.
They didn't have a stroke while writing it then.
Possibly. The cycle scene was particularly annoying. The guy could barely ride it at first, then he makes a spectacular jump successfully shortly thereafter. This was the bit I didn't understand. Who was the dude who looked like Russell Crowe? Had me going for a bit.
What?
Which dude looked like Russell Crowe?
Yeah, but who was he?
I don't know. If you tell me who he was, what scene he was in, does he mean Johnny Girders? Like, I don't know. That's Helpless Dancer 21. Anyway, there it is. Top review, Flopperoo. It's Australian for kangaroos, penis. 10 out of 10. I loved this movie so much, and I'll never grow tired of it. By Kenneth Herskowitz. Only 3 years ago, he wrote this. Somebody was saying that this movie came out after A Nightmare on Elm Street. Wrong.
Oh, wow.
This movie came out in August of 1984, 3 months before A Nightmare on Elm Street came out 3 months later in November. So basically, Nightmare on Elm Street got inspired by Dreamscape and doing its own kind of way, and I really enjoyed it. I don't think
does he know how film?
I don't think Kenneth understands how films are shot and made and like how long it takes.
Kenny.
No, what I like about Kenny though is a fierce partisan of this film.
Oh yeah, wrong. All caps.
All other
three
films are shy.
exclamation marks. I think you'll find that Finding Nemo came out before Shark's Tale.
Actually.
But in Dreamscape, it has its own mixtures of sci-fi, action, horror, and political matters. And it had its own style from the scene with the car heading to the phone booth scene, almost out of the Alfred Hitchcock movie North by Northwest.
Which came out after this, I think you'll find.
Yeah, who's copying who now?
Master of suspense, my ass.
I was going to say, the bit in... Was that was running through like the cornfield in North by Northwest?
Yes, correct. Yeah, Cary Grant, yeah.
And that's like genuinely tense. And this bit where I'm like, I hope they hit him.
Yeah. Look, honey, this is what a cornfield looks like.
I saw this movie when I was 17 years old when it came out, and I was so intrigued by it and its special effects and the storyline, and I can keep watching it all the time and never grow tired of it. You guys come across this movie, see it, and you will have bad dreams too. Ooh. So he ends on a weird note.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
So yeah, I think he's just cursed us. I think Kenneth Herskowitz has just been like, "You've seen this, now you will suffer," and only Kenneth will get into your dreams. I dream of Kenneth Herskowitz tonight now. I won't know what he looks like. I'm assuming he'll look like the little guy.
They're one of the.
No, I'm assuming he'll look like the little guy whose missus was cheating on him for some reason. That was 1984's Dreamscape. Any favourite quotes from the film?
Nah, she had a bum ticker.
I'm upset. I eat to forget.
You're damn right I disapprove. You've got tremendous gifts, and you've chosen to piss them all away.
Norm!
At no point. It wasn't so good. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
All right, mate. I'll just pump up my muscles.